My name is Lydia Emily Cook. I prefer to be called Lydia, but my friends call me Lyd, and sometimes they call me Lydita. I was born in Raleigh, North Carolina, and raised in the town of Youngsville, which is about 30 minutes outside of Raleigh. I've always loved living in Youngsville because of how peaceful and personal it felt to live in a small town, as well as the easy access to everything in Wake Forest and Raleigh. My proposed major is elementary education with a concentration in international studies and a minor in Spanish. Pretty much, I really want to be a teacher. This picture is one of my favorites and really sums up my dream job. I would love to teach in a Latin American country, working with students just like these, and partnering with a local church doing intercity mission work. This specific photo was taken in El Salvador, a country very close to my heart. It is important to me that you know a bit about my heart. While my story itself is long and detailed, the message behind it is short and sweet. It's simply that I am saved by grace, and because of that, my life has been transformed by Christ. Who He is in me has a huge impact on the way I see the world and the way I love other people. Because the most important thing in my life is my relationship with Christ, the Bible, or God's Word, has a huge influence in my life. Every move I make, plan I follow, and I'd like to say most of the time, every word I say is inspired by God's Word and His love in me. Because of this, I have learned to hold fast to Him during many of the battles that I've had with fear and faced with insecurities. I can do this because I've hidden His Word in my heart. This verse I'm writing on the wall says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen and I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I try to live by that verse. Because I live right outside of Raleigh, my community is naturally a melting pot of diversity, and I absolutely love that. The exposure I had locally and internationally growing up to people of different backgrounds and with different stories really gave me an appreciation for the unique nature of God's creation. It also gave me an empathy and compassion for those fighting against and being attacked by injustice. A few summers ago, my home church's youth group held a summer event called Engage, where we learned to see our community as a place to serve, and were reminded that mission work doesn't just happen overseas, it happens in your own city. While some groups worked with the elderly in nursing homes, or worked with food pantries and the homeless, or even did yard work, my group had the amazing opportunity to work with children in a local and primarily Hispanic neighborhood. We did some yard work and held camps for the children each day. And while it was truly one of the best experiences of my life, it was very eye-opening for many of us to see the way our city was not only diverse in background and in ethnicity, but on socioeconomic levels as well. Within a 10-mile radius of our school and my church, there are families living in gated upper-class communities, middle-class neighborhoods, lower middle-class neighborhoods like my own, and then various neighborhoods with low living conditions. In terms of race, my community, as in neighborhood, is primarily white. In terms of community, as in the area around me and the people I grew up surrounded by, it is a nice mixture of Black, white, Latino, and Asian. My religious community is heavily Christian, as I grew up in a Baptist church. However, I did have some Muslim, Mormon, and atheist friends at school. While I touched earlier on the general socioeconomic status of my community and its diversity, it is important for me to explain the socioeconomic status and its growth for my family. Growing up, our family was lower middle class, and while I didn't quite understand that concept, I was aware that our family used WIC checks. And over time, my family made sure that my brothers and I were very educated in the financial situations of our family. Today, we are more middle class, but I feel as though my family's character and disposition, because of how we grow up, does not relate well to the extravagant lifestyle of my neighbors. We view money and life's challenges in a different way. Overall, I feel very blessed to have grown up in such a diverse community. I actually miss it a lot here at UNC Wilmington, where some of my favorite moments have been downtown mentoring at-risk students, considering I don't see a lot of diversity here. on campus. I believe the way that I've been exposed to many different ways of life, backgrounds, and beliefs has given me a broader perspective and allows me to see the world through many different lenses. It has given me the desire to know and value the story of every person I meet. It has also given me a love for diversity and a more natural comfort for integrating my life with those who are different than me. For example, my adoptive mom is from Venezuela and my boyfriend is from El Salvador. My experiences overseas have also given me a love for the nations and serving them here in the US. For example, this picture right here shows that I've left my heart all around the world, but that also pours into Raleigh, North Carolina, and Youngsville, and Wilmington, as seen in the reflection, because the nations are also here, and we can also serve them here. I grew up in public schools, starting at Royal Elementary, moving to Cedar Creek Middle School, and finally graduating from Franklinton High School. I loved public school, and my teachers were amazing. They gave me a passion for teaching and for learning, an out-of-the-box education. They challenged my way of thinking, taught me life skills, character skills, and interpersonal skills, along with normal curriculum, and really taught me to love school and to really stand up for public schools when charter schools and private schools were more valued as you got closer to Raleigh and our community. Growing up, I loved learning. I hated summer break because I wasn't in school, and I always would come home as an elementary school student and teach my American Girl dolls long division and everything I had learned at school in my little closet classroom. I always challenged and pushed myself, and I would consider myself a driven student. Education is very close to the heart of my family, as my mom is a teacher. In our family, it is valued and taken seriously. Growing up, I believe I was exposed early on to the blessings and the challenges of working in the education system. I could see how my parents valued education because they kept my brothers motivated to learn, while I was self-driven and didn't really need that motivation. My senior year, I had the chance to work in a 5th grade class each day as an internship. The way my school allowed me to test the waters of a career I was interested in and challenged me to step up in creating my own internship for myself allowed me to obtain experiences that have sparked a passion in my heart for making a difference in the educational world, as well as put my heart into every class that I take here in college. While so many teachers have been a huge inspiration to me, Miss Woodley, my Spanish teacher in high school, has really been an inspiration to me. She inspired me to take leadership and take charge of my education. She helped inspire me to pursue independent studies of Spanish and help grow my heart for the world and the community around me through having the opportunity to interview local immigrants and listen to their stories. She challenged and inspired me to inspire others to take charge of their educations and to keep pursuing knowledge on their own. I believe the purpose of education should not only be to grow a student's knowledge, but also to cultivate a love for learning. So here we are today. Today, I'm a driven, passionate, and loving student. And by loving, I mean I love to learn, and I love the people that I get to love to learn with. I struggle with burning myself out and being so much of a perfectionist that I get overwhelmed. I need motivation not to let the small struggles get the best of me. I consider myself a leader, but I have challenged myself this year to step back and allow others to take leadership that wouldn't normally do so. I do this because I constantly need to remind myself that I am not in control. My concerns for this class are simple. I need to learn patience and love towards those who disagree with me and not take their comments too personally. For the most part, I'm very excited for this class. And this semester, I hope to expand my horizon in view of the educational world and pour into the lives of the students I get to work with. This semester, I want to be an encourager, not only in the lives of the students that I get to teach, but in the students that I have classes with.